Okay. It just automatically takes it.
Automatically goes live.
Okay. Because I made the other problem too is like
What's going on, guys? It's Guido here.
What's up, everybody? This is Matt, Brews&Ball podcast. Today we got a very special guest. His name's Evan. We're gonna let him introduce himself.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Evan. Met Matt through Toyota. He's been a good friend, so I figured I'd just hop on here to talk some sports and just chill and vibe.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah! So real quick before we even get started, we gotta do our usual. I know Evan probably ain't prepared for this, but we always drinking on the pod.
Yeah.
We gotta crack our beers, get our beers ready. God, that beer tastes like shit. Okay.
What is it?
It tastes like shit, dude.
Bad.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. So this is like a neon, like flamingo West Coast IPA. My girlfriend got me. I'm a big IPA guy. Actually, no, it's not that bad.
It tastes like shit.
Dude, it's gonna grow on me. I think it's gonna grow on me. So real quick. Before we even get started in our topics, real quick, Evan, let us know who's your sports team, man.
Sports team, football wise, got to go Washington. Yeah, it's been a rough journey, but it looks like things maybe start turning around. So I'm hoping at least.
Awesome.
No, absolutely.
Awesome. So before we get to anything, the first topic we're gonna go over is March Madness. March Madness on this one, the Final Four. Yesterday, probably one of the biggest upsets.
Crazy.
I don't think anyone saw it coming. I don't even think the team that won saw this upset coming. Let's talk about that Auburn-Duke game real quick.
Or Duke and Houston.
Duke and Houston, I mean.
Yeah. I think Duke was favored by everybody, including Houston, to win it all. And, I mean, they had an unbelievable season. So did Houston. But Duke just, with Cooper Flagg on their team and everything else they had going, to just the way they fell apart in the second half of the game was just insane. It's just they're a young team where Houston's got some more older players who've kind of, been in this situation before. Duke just collapsed.
Yeah.
They also said too, like the average starter age for Houston is older than a lot of NBA average starters too.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It's just experience. That's all Houston
Yeah.
had.
I thought Duke was the best team in college football. Not college basketball coming out of it. Like I think they were top 5 defense, top 5 offense. I might be wrong, but I mean you got the best college player.
Yeah, they're definitely up there.
I mean, like Cooper Flagg gave you 27 points, 8 for 10 from the field. I mean, 8 for 19. From the field last night, 8 for 8 from the free throw. I mean, he balled and he had that nasty post. You saw the nasty poster dunk.
Yeah,
he had too, slinging on the rim.
Yeah, I only watched like the very end. I missed most of the game, but I heard a lot of people saying the Proctor, Tyrese Proctor is how you say his name. I think he had a rough game, is what everybody was saying. So
yeah, he put up 7 points. He was 2 for 8 from the field goal, 0 4 from 3-point.
Yeah.
Same with I think his name's Sion James. He was 3 for 9 from field goal, put up 7 points. Another guy, can't even pronounce his name. Kaman Malak. 21 minutes, 1 for 2 from field goal. I mean, he had 6 points, but all that was all free throws. Like, just struggle. I mean, they literally just rode Cooper Flagg and Cano.
But that's one thing I think you've seen in a lot of games so far is like benches are winning these games right now.
Absolutely.
Right.
I mean,
Duke's bench put up 4 points.
Yeah, and one person. So one person on the bench put up points, and they went 2 for 2. Like they were probably the best shooting percentage out of the whole game. 2 for 2. I mean, you can't really mess that up.
Yeah, I think that's what was Maryland's problem is they had no bench.
No bench whatsoever. And then with Houston, I mean, they had a bunch of people putting up 26, 16, 11. Then they had 7 and 4. But I mean, They rebounded better. They had 42 rebounds to Duke's 31, which you just don't see happening.
No.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable.
And the best part, David is here right now. You'd say, well, this means Cooper Flagg's going to stay another year to get his get back,
No, Flag is moving on. He's moving.
Hey, real quick before we move on to the next game.
You leave.
Yeah. Evan, real quick before we move on to the next one, right? Out of all the bottom tier teams in the NBA, which team would you like to see Cooper Flag go to the most that you think would have the biggest impact?
Yeah, I would want to see Washington, of course. That's going to be my answer. So. I think he can change a franchise, man. He looks like he could be that guy to come in and make something happen. So Washington needs it.
Yeah, I think he would have the Wemby effect.
Yeah, something like that. I agree.
And then we can jump over to the last game. You got Auburn and Florida. I chose Florida to win. After I seen the way they beat us, I was like, whoever they see next is a wrap.
Yeah.
They shot better field goal percentage against Auburn, better 3-point percentage, a little more turnovers. They out-rebounded Auburn, which was the big deal against us, as they demolished us on the boards. This was another good type game.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what Florida kind of banked on all year was rebounding. They've been very efficient rebounding all year.
Yeah. Now their bigs get it done. But in this game, there wasn't too much of a difference. They're all pretty even across the stats.
Well, Auburn's a good team, though.
Yeah.
Like I said, even though how much we raved about, a lot of people raved about Florida all year. Auburn's a really good team, man.
Yeah,
they're a real good program.
They were number one for a reason.
All number one teams made it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then around before that, it was all 1 and 2 seeds.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Which I did say when me and Tim a couple weeks ago did ours, I was like, man, there's no way all the number ones make it. It just doesn't happen like that.
Never.
And here we are. All number ones made it. Walter Clayton for the Gators put up 34 points. He went 11
He's
for 18.
something serious. He's a problem.
Yeah, that's insane. To put up 34. Auburn didn't really have anybody jumping off the stat sheet, but they all were, equally putting up points.
Clayton put up 34.
Yeah,
oh my God.
34.
I think last game he put up 30.
Yeah, he's I think the 7th player ever in college history. I was listening to it earlier. It's him, Larry Bird, Will Chamberlain. It's a group of outstanding basketball players to ever put up. I think it was back-to-back 30-point games in a March Madness or something.
Yeah, he's going crazy.
He went 5 for 8 from 3. It's insane. And Auburn's got a good defense.
Yeah, they do.
So, yeah, he did his thing. He hit clutch shots when they needed it. And I'm still rocking with Florida. I think Florida's going to win.
Yeah, I think now that I had Duke winning because I just thought they were the best team coming in. And now that they're gone, I think it has to be Florida.
Yeah.
It should be Florida, I think.
Yeah, Houston's got a phenomenal defense. So that's going to be another close. I think it's going to come down to final minute, 3-point game.
I think that's a real cool thing about this Final Four too. They're very competitive, close games. You didn't see no one-sided team. Everything was, even the Duke game. The Duke game had to be. Again, I caught the end of it, but it had been fun to watch the whole entire game. Where it's
yeah. Well, I think that's the plus sign with having it being all 1 seeds. Is because if you really think about March Madness brackets, that's how it should be. The top teams should be exactly where they were. And I've seen a whole bunch of people being like, "Oh, we're mad. There's no Cinderella story and stuff." And it's like, this is how it should be. These guys are the first seed. They're the first seed for a reason. So there's no reason they shouldn't be playing each other to go to the championship.
No, absolutely. Yeah, and I seen something that said in the final 11 minutes and 50 seconds of the Houston versus Duke game, Houston put up 28 points to Duke's 11. They were 8 from 23 field goal percentage, where Duke was 2 for 11. I think they got a bunch of free throws. They were 3 from 9 from field goal, where Duke was 1 for 3. Duke had 5 turnovers. At that point, when it was 11 minutes, 50 seconds left, Duke led 56-42, and Houston just rallied back and did their thing.
And I think what helped them too is that they're an older team.
Yeah,
they have more cognitivity together. My bad. They know how to play together.
Yeah.
They know how to
I think
play.
that makes a difference having those I guess you wouldn't call them vets because they're in college, but like seasoned guys that just been there. They know how the kind of thing works compared to a young guy that's never been in a situation like that. So I think that it can definitely play a big part into the game.
Yeah.
So Evan, obviously, who you rocking with in the final? You rocking with you're rocking with Houston, you're rocking with Florida.
It's got to be Florida.
I'm going Florida.
Yeah.
That's going to be such a good game.
That's going to be a good game.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow,
8:50. Why the game got to be so late? 8:50 is start time.
It just also sucks too. Is like especially a big game like this, you would want to have it on a weekend.
Yeah.
Especially right now where it's like early in baseball. Basketball, you're at the end of it, but you can swap out a end of the season basketball game for the final for college March Madness, the finals for that. Problem with doing it on Monday, man, late Monday night game, people have to go to work Tuesday.
Yeah.
Some people obviously work nights during the week. You can't really you're limiting your audience big time.
Absolutely.
Which really sucks.
I agree.
They'll still have a great turnout though.
Yeah, they'll still have a good turnout, but it just sucks.
Not as what it could be. If this was like a Friday night or a Saturday night game,
dude.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for tournament wise. It's crazy. It went so fast.
Yeah.
I feel like it was
I feel like it just started.
About the first round. Yeah.
All right, well, let's go to the next topic then. Let's go to NBA playoffs. We want to talk NBA playoffs and a little bit of NBA in general, since we didn't have a lot of talk with March Madness.
Yeah.
Before we even get started about the playoffs, me and Greedo were talking about this some before. I want to have your opinion on this too, Evan. I know I talked to other guys like X about, but I haven't talked to you about this yet, I don't think. Does Ja Morant want to play basketball? That's your guy.
That's a good question.
Not right. Does he want to play?
I don't know. It's like I want to say yes because I feel like if he didn't want to play, then why even be in that situation? But I guess I definitely get what your point of asking the question though, because he does seem unserious a good bit of the time, and it's like you're supposed to be you're supposed to be the face of your franchise, one of the best players in the league, and sometimes it just seems like you're not taking it as serious as you could be or should be. So I'd want to say yes. So I feel like he wants to play.
I just I don't know. You're getting told not to do it. The NBA is trying their hardest not to fine you and suspend you again. They tried their hardest not to fine you, right? They're like, hey, we're going to give you a warning. Even though someone else did it to you first. You can't do this no more. And what does he do literally the next game? And again, it's not – this is why a lot of people were upset on social media. It's just hand gestures. Mikal Bridges did it. This person did it. That person did it. That's not the issue. The issue is you've had the off-the-court stuff. You possibly could have done some serious fines, all this type of stuff outside of NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's take it a step further. Your boss is telling you, essentially. It's like for everyone that works any job. If your boss is telling you, hey, you're going to get written up if you keep doing this, and you keep doing it, you can't get mad when you get written up. The same thing with this. They're telling you to stop doing it. It's a respect thing.
And he's antagonizing the league with it. Like you said before, the social media stuff, then he's going on and he's posted pew. Like you said, Evan, he was on pace to be the face of the league.
Right.
He had all the fans watching him. He was Showtime. The Grizzlies had a good thing going, and then I feel like the Grizzlies slowly started to fall apart once the face of their team started acting out like that. It's just an immaturity kind of thing.
Hey, real quick too. What up, Timmy? Sorry you can't be with us today. Timmy shot a little comment.
Yeah, it's him. But I think that also goes with the Grizzlies not having that veteran presence on the team.
Yep. Yeah.
There's no vet keeping these young guys in check, which we've seen the following few seasons when you had Dylan Brooks and John Morant. Who's the other guy on their team? The short, stocky, three-point shooter.
Bane.
Yeah.
Bane's still there.
You had but what I'm saying, a few seasons ago, you had the three of them who were every game antagonizing other teams, going at them. Dylan Brooks is fighting, but he still does to this day with I think he's with the Rockets. So like you just had this young core of great ballers who were just so immature and couldn't keep themselves in check, which I think they could have added a few more pieces, and this could have been a great Grizzlies team.
Yeah.
Where now it's like they're so childish. They've kind of fallen from where they should have been projected to go. And I mean, I'm a big Ja fan, and since all this stuff, I've kind of stopped watching. I'm just like, dude, what are you doing here? Like, it's just
I think he's definitely doing it.
You're gonna end up wearing that jersey.
I'm not gonna wear the Ja jersey because I'm not gonna lose it.
I think he's definitely doing it as kind of like a FU to the league. Like,
yeah, maybe he's trying to
thinking like he's just hard headed, and it's just he should be able to do what he wants. And it's like, in a sense, I guess I get what he's thinking, but it's like Matt was saying, it's like if your boss or whatever is telling you, hey, you got to cut it out. Like, I mean, you're making millions of dollars to play basketball, man. Just kind of just try to just go away from it and just play ball, because it's got to be bringing the morale down. And like this is like your leader of the team, so
absolutely. Yeah.
And the worst part is like your head coach just got fired. So you have an interim coach, right?
He don't know what to do.
And everyone else is looking at you because you are now, at least you had the head coach that you kind of built with a little bit.
Yeah.
That the team can look up to. Now that you are the only person.
Yeah. 100%.
And I think Evan talked about it too, about how he could have been the face in the league, most talent. Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, Ja Morant, just from natural abilities, if he worked on shooting a little bit more, like I said, not saying he's a bad shooter, but if he just kept honing his craft, Ja Morant has the talent to be the best player in the NBA.
His athleticism is out of this.
I thought he should have won over Zion when he got drafted.
Agreed.
And like, it's crazy because he cost himself money. You cost yourself $30-some million already.
Well, and he had that shoe deal that's supposed to happen. I don't know if it ever fully.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say sponsors and all that. It's like, do we want to?
Yeah,
sponsor a guy that's had this past or all these whatever. I don't know if he had allegations or whatever, but I remember that stuff that happened with him off the court. So,
and one last thing too, don't give them a reason to suspend you, right? Because it will really suck if you get kicked out of the league because of hand gestures. Because you're going to be on your second suspension at this point. You're going to be starting to get a lot closer to that area where you're not going to be able to be back in the league. You will be removed because they want to keep their kids look up to the players. You know what I'm saying? They don't want, that's why they take certain stuff like the gun stuff out and all that type of stuff. They don't want to be promoting that type of stuff.
Absolutely.
Don't be an idiot and get kicked out of the league for hand gestures. Like, that would really suck.
Dude, can you imagine throwing away your career? Like, why'd you stop playing? I couldn't stop doing gun hand gestures, man. Like, what is wrong with you? That man is jumping out the gym and then going on IG Live throwing up guns. Like, why, bro?
All right, so let's get to basketball. Before we even talk about brackets and stuff, Evan, what are your feelings on the up-and-coming Warriors for this season? How do you think my boy's looking right now?
It seems like they're heating up at the right time, you know? I mean, you got Curry playing like Curry, so I mean, I don't think you can ever count out the Warriors if Curry's playing how he's playing. So I'll say that much at least.
So let's do a little breakdown right now. Let's see kind of how this the brackets would look right now. We usually don't talk about the 1 and 2 seed because we're not really too worried about that because both sides, no matter who they play, I think Thunder wins. I think Houston wins. I think Cleveland wins. I think Celtics. I don't think there's any teams in the play-ins that are gonna put up that much of a fight against them. So let's go to the 4 and the 5 right now for let's go to 4 and 5 for the West.
Nuggets and Warriors.
What are we thinking in that matchup, Evan? It's okay.
If I had to pick a team to win, I'd probably say Nuggets and 6.
Yeah, I like that. Nuggets just Warriors are getting hot at the right time.
Yeah.
But the Nuggets, I mean,
you got arguably Jokic is arguably the best player in the league. Like
exactly,
just does everything.
I think he's about to win another MVP.
He should. I'm
gonna be honest, and this might be biasness. I think we go 7 games. I think if I had to actually, if you gave me $100, I had to be honest and say, hey Matt, take away your team affiliation. This is your last $100. You have to bet on either team. I'm probably throwing my $100 on the Nuggets. Still, do I think that we can maybe upset them? I mean, it's not out of the realm.
I will say the Nuggets don't look as good as they looked maybe like years prior, but
yeah,
I mean, you still got arguably one of the best players in the league. So, I mean, not to say Curry's still not at the top of his game though. So that's where I kind of say like if Curry's playing like Curry, then who knows how it could go. I think that's gonna be a grimy series.
And I think the one thing we got that benefits us is we have, in my mind, besides like OKC, Thunder, and Celtics, I think we have one of the deepest benches in the league that's going into the playoffs. Like you think about it, coming off your bench is going to be Kuminga, Buddy Hield, Kevon Looney. Them 3 alone specifically. Kuminga, you put on another team. He's a starter on another team. I personally, and I'm biased thing right here too, I think we hurt Kuminga's progression as a player because he doesn't necessarily fit our style of play. I think he would have got drafted somewhere else. You'd be talking about Kuminga at a higher level right now. But we all know about Buddy Hield. I don't like Buddy Hield because inconsistency, but if he can give you a game or two where he's going to go hot from the 3.
Yeah, he might give you. Yeah, this game he can give you 15 points.
You guys got the young guy, Brandon.
Yeah, we got Brandon Podzinski on it because he's our starting lineup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they showed too. We have our starting 5. We have a starting 5 lineup that's undefeated right now.
Damn.
And that's Jimmy Butler, Curry, and a small ball too. Jimmy Butler, Curry, Podzinski, Moody, and Draymond Green. We're actually sitting 15-0, I think, with that starting lineup. And 2 of them wins are against the Nuggets and the Lakers. So that's the other thing too. Like that's my and again, I'm a Warriors guy, so I'm gonna go on a Warriors rant for a second. Everybody discredited us because we haven't beaten a contender so far in this 19-2 run.
Mm-hmm.
But we beat the Lakers and the Nuggets back to back. Like we beat them handily. Like we let the Lakers get back in a little bit, but we had full control of both games. Yeah. Then we played Houston tonight. If we go around and beat Houston tonight, which is possible because they might not be putting their foot on the pedal too much because they're already locked. You gotta really feel like good coming into the playoffs.
I think they feel good regardless with how they're playing right now. It's you guys are hot. You're feeling it. Curry's doing Curry things, so it's like I think if you just ride behind Curry, just support him any way you can, then you could make a run.
And we're top ranked defensively. That's the thing too. Everybody's talking about Jimmy Butler not having crazy points right now. Jimmy Butler can afford to not have crazy points because of what he does on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
Like real quick, go back to that Denver game. I think we had 26 turnovers against Denver. Like we forced Denver to have 26 turnovers.
Yeah, 26 turnovers
to our 14. That's defensive prowess right there.
Yeah,
so I'm not gonna go too much of a rant. I'm picking the Nuggets still probably. I'm not gonna say that when it actually starts because I'm a Warriors guy, so I'm gonna support my team regardless. Jokic scares the shit out of me.
Dude, he can just do it all.
But again, don't be surprised if there's possibly an upset. Like I said.
Yeah, I can see it. I think that's one of the series where I could definitely see it happening. So
let's go to the next.
We jump to the 3 and the 6. Lakers versus Timberwolves.
Lakers beaten. Well, what's your thoughts on it, Evan?
I'd probably say Lakers in 5.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not a Timberwolves guy, man. I think Timberwolves are. If Edwards isn't balling, man.
I think I just didn't see what I wanted to see from them this year. I feel like they definitely took like a fall off from last year. I mean, I know they lost a couple guys, so but yeah, I just don't see if it's Ant. If it's got to be Ant, then that's the only way I can see them winning is Ant going on a run.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, Lakers you got Luka, LeBron, and AR who are all putting up over 20 points every game.
Yep.
Who is matching that?
And then you got Rui Hachimura who got back now, and he's starting to do good.
Yeah, they got a whole bunch of solid guys.
Yeah, Dalton Knecht. He's put up 9 points. He's coming off the bench doing that.
And the thing is they don't need to do much because you got, like you just said, you got LeBron, you got Luka, just those two, not even mentioning Austin Reeves that can give you 20. I mean, you just need to play a role at that point and just help out the stars and let them do what they're going to do.
You got LeBron who
Right.
Is running point guard. He's got Luka, Reeves, and then whoever else is coming off the bench. My man is just coming down and giving it off to whoever, getting people open. They're hitting wide open shots. And then vice versa. Then you got Luka coming down doing the same thing. He's getting his shots. He's getting passes open. He's feeding LeBron. They're throwing oops to each other. AR's throwing oops to each other. Like they got something.
They're having fun. I don't
Yes.
think the Lakers have had this fun since. It's been a good bit.
Yeah.
So if you had to give it like a suggestion, like what do you think the Timberwolves need to do to have a chance? Like, do you need for example, like we all know Luka's not a great defender. Do we have to put Luka in compromising positions on the defensive side of the ball?
You definitely got to attack Luka. I think honestly, you try to double him as soon as he catches the ball or something. Just try to get him the ball out of his hands. That's probably what I would do. Because I think LeBron's gonna do LeBron things. He's just it's just LeBron. It's just you got to try to make it hard for Luka offensively and defensively. Is what I would think it would be your key to win the series.
No, absolutely, yeah. Like I think you have Anthony Edwards follow Luka wherever he's at. You make him guard Luka, vice versa. It comes down if Luka doesn't want to pick up on Ant, you sit up,
give me a screen,
Yep. And you let Ant just go at Luka. Same with Austin Reeves is good on defense, but I would still take Anthony Edwards' offense over that.
Yeah.
So I 100%. Think you play the pick and roll. You got multiple bigs, you can do it. You got Julius Randle, Naz Reid, Gobert. You just keep setting up pick and rolls between them three, and then feeding them down low. You just run the game through Edwards.
Now, Evan, do you think the Lakers are missing AD from obviously the defensive? Like, do you think Luka's offense is going to compensate over the loss of AD's defense plus his offense because AD can score too? Do you think that's hurting them in this? You think that's going to hurt them not having AD in the
I think maybe deeper in the run. It could hurt them. Right now, I would say no. I would say that the way Luka and LeBron are playing and the way that they can just take over a game, I would say no. But I think if you go against a team like a Thunder team or like a strong-sided team on both sides of the ball, then I think it could eventually be a problem down the line where you might not win the series.
Yeah, no, like I said, I do think, again, you are missing AD, but you're hoping that Luka goes out and puts up 30 beside LeBron or 15 assists or something crazy like that. You can't have a bad game. I mean, offensively from Luka for this to make sense.
Yeah.
And to go back to our game against them too, when we beat the Lakers a couple days back, we kept Luka 0 for 6 from the 3. So again, you can't have a game like that.
Making it tough for Luka is their key to win the series.
Yeah.
I shouldn't hate on the Timberwolves that much. I mean, they got a puncher's chance, but I'm the same way. I think I give them 6. I'll give them 6. I think Ant can will at least 2 wins himself.
See, well, that's my thing is I just don't think you can depend on Ant for a 7-game series.
Yeah.
Like he can't do it all. You're gonna have to have your role players and your big men down low step up and help him out because he gives us all the first game. They're gonna come in and give him a 4-piece win real quick, back to back, and get the Timberwolves out of there. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a 5-game series.
Yeah, I can see 5, but I'm gonna give benefit of doubt 6. Just because I think Ant can get you 2 wins maybe.
Yeah.
And all it takes is Julius Randle to have a hot game, I guess.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So let's go to the next conference on this one.
All right. So now we jump over. You got Pacers versus Bucks. That's the 4 and the 5.
Evan, who you liking that one?
I think I got it. I think I'm gonna go Bucks. I think Bucks in 6. Maybe Bucks in 7. I think that's gonna be a good series though, but I don't know if the Pacers got what they need to do to stop Giannis. So
yeah.
Now I like that because I'm gonna be honest. I am torn on this game, and I'm gonna tell you why. And it's not anything against Giannis, but I don't think this Damian Lillard experience worked out the way they thought it was going to.
It definitely didn't.
And I'm not saying Damian Lillard's not playing. Yeah, I'm not saying he's not playing good basketball, but it just I don't know. It just doesn't feel like the team's that comfortable when you're watching them play. It's just they don't really, and I think a lot of that's also because of that bum ass coach that they got. I'm sorry,
yeah.
I can't stand him, dude.
That's the reason. That's one of the main reasons why they will not win. I will be 100% honest. Terrible coach.
They're holding him back.
Yeah.
Like Doc Rivers. Why do I always, dude? I don't like Doc Rivers that much. I forget what Doc Rivers' name is.
Yeah, I thought we just weren't going to say it, so that's why I didn't know you didn't remember his name.
I can remember what the name was, dude, because it's like he's trash. I mean, he blames his players. Yeah. And there's an issue. And I think I talked about it last pod. When your coach is bringing up your star players a couple weeks before playoffs to talk about how to turn this team around. I mean, you had 60-some games already to figure this out. Mm-hmm. You haven't figured it out yet. It's a little late now. I mean, you're the coach. You're supposed to figure out how to do this.
Yeah.
And then he's going to cry victim the whole entire time. But again, I think the Bucks win just because of Giannis specifically, because I don't think they have an answer for Giannis. Because I'm going to flip on the Pacers side. What's your thoughts on the Pacers team, real quick, Evan? Do you like them? What do you think they're missing?
What I think, they're probably missing another star. I think. I mean, you got Siakam. I don't mind Siakam. I like Siakam. I'm a big fan of Halliburton. Maybe it's the bench. I don't know. I haven't really been keeping up too much with the Pacers. I'd have to dive into their scores and how it's looking, but I don't know. I just don't think they got enough.
Yeah, I think for Pacers, what they're missing is that score. You have Halliburton, who's he's averaging 9 assists. But I mean, Siakam is their highest scorer on average. He's averaging 20 points a season. You're going against the Bucks, who have Giannis, who's averaging 30 points a game. And then the backup is Damian Lillard, who's putting up 24 points a game. They have a lot of people who are putting up 10 and 11, 15. But it's at the same point where it's like, if Halliburton isn't consistent, which we've seen throughout the season, if he's not consistent with feeding his teammates, they're not getting their open. His teammates aren't getting to their shots. He's getting them open for their shots. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I feel like this series is going to depend on if Halliburton comes in and, if he plays his best every game and gets his teammates to their shots and they knock him down. And I think it's going to be a good series. And it's going to go to 7. But if he comes out and he has a bad game here or there, I think they're not going to have an answer for Giannis. But, it also goes the same way. If Giannis isn't healthy, if he battles injuries, Pacers will come in and sweep him. So it's like both sides have inconsistent players, health-wise, and then just inconsistent games.
So real quick, I'm going to say something that, I know you said you're a Halliburton guy, and you like Halliburton, but I'm going to say something that's very unpopular. Halliburton is the number 2. I'm sorry. You're not winning anything with Halliburton as your main guy. Championship-wise, from a championship run standpoint, Halliburton can't be the face of your team, and then Siakam can't be your number 1 either at this point.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's why I was leaning towards more. They need another star. They need like a Kevin Durant right now. That's how the Suns are looking. If he went there. Or somebody that you can rely on to give me the ball, I'm going to go get one. And y'all just need to kind of fill in your roles.
I love the Kevin Durant pick because if you literally swap Siakam with Kevin Durant with the way
that's what I was thinking.
With the way the role players like Miles Turner's playing, then you got Halliburton running kind of running the point guard, obviously, and distributing the ball to KD. You got a lot of guys, like Guido said, you got 1, 2, Honestly, let's up that 9.2 up.
Yeah.
So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 8 guys in averaging double-digit points right now. So if you add a KD with that, and then obviously one of them guys are gone because it's Siakam.
You probably lose a few of them guys.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, just from a play standpoint, just from a placement standpoint, I mean, you're a contender. I feel like that's really what you're missing is that number one, and you can be a contender. And I think Halliburton, if you give him a true number one, I think Halliburton is going to start looking like that number one again, if that makes sense, because his game is distributing the ball. That's what he does best.
What comes to mind for me is if you keep this same team they got, but you put in like a Ray Allen type player, a Klay Thompson, who's just going to sit, wing, get to their spots, and you let Halliburton run that fucking offense the way he does and just feed someone who is a knockdown shooter, this team would be going a whole lot further. Yeah, like you guys said, I agree. I think they're just missing that person who is just going to sit and get to their spot, and when that ball comes, it's a green light.
Right.
All right, well, let's switch. The next game is going to be what? The Knicks and who else?
And Pistons.
Knicks and Pistons.
I got Knicks probably walking the Pistons. I like the Pistons. They're young, but
I think the Pistons need another year.
Well, what do you think, Evan?
A year or two. I'd say the Pistons need another year or two. I'll give the Pistons 1. I do think it's Knicks probably in 5. I think the Pistons can squeak one out, whether it's at home or maybe a lucky road win. But Knicks should wipe them. It shouldn't even be that close of a series.
No. I agree with you because I'm a big Knicks guy. Like I like the Knicks a lot. I thought it really sucked them losing DiVincenzo, but I love swapping Julius Randle for Karl Anthony Towns. I think Karl Anthony Towns.
That trade was so much better for them than it was the Timberwolves.
100%. I just wish you found a way to keep DiVincenzo as well.
Yeah.
Because I thought DiVincenzo last year showed, man. Dude, he really fits really well there, especially if he could run the second unit.
I think what it was is he's playing with guys he went to college with. He's playing with Josh Hart. He's playing with Brunson. Yeah. So, I think you can see the difference this year. He's not what he looked like last year. I think he felt like himself. He knew his guys didn't care. Hey, I'm going to go out and shoot 12 threes. And he knew his guys would be like, go for it. I'm going to give you the ball. So I think he was able to play more freely than he does now.
Yeah. Dude, and like I said, I'm such a Jalen Brunson guy. I think Jalen Brunson is phenomenal.
Very underrated.
Very underrated. But you know who I also really like a lot for the Knicks if he can stay healthy? I'm a big OG guy. I like OG a lot because he's a bigger guy. He can play against the other team's center. He can guard the other team's center if he wants to.
Yeah, he gives you both sides of the ball.
Well. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, man. If they didn't get hurt last year, they were going to the conference finals, and they would have, if they were fully healthy, if they stayed fully healthy. I'm not saying you beat Boston, but man, that would have been a battle last year versus they played the Pacers. The Pacers took advantage of them being hurt, right? Mm-hmm. So, because you remember that final series, you had no Jalen Brunson, you had no Randall, you had no OG. All you had was DiVincenzo and Josh Hart. Yeah. But I'm with you. I like the Knicks. I'm a little biased because I like the Knicks a lot. I'd say Knicks in 5 in this one for sure.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, this Pistons team, they're young and hungry. Same thing we talked about with last team we talked. What was the last team that had multiple people putting up numbers?
Pacers.
Yeah, it was the Pacers. You got Pistons who got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 people on double digits. And that's a young team.
Yeah.
You got the Knicks who, they got more of the powerhouse. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people putting up double digits, but 4 of them are putting up almost 20 points a night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the Knicks I don't think they go far because Boston's in it. I do think the Knicks go upset Cleveland. I'm going to be completely honest. Again, this is my issue with Cleveland. Cleveland has shown you the last couple of years now. They will play great all season. And once that postseason is around, they struggle.
They do it every single
year. I don't know if it's because they don't have an identity of winning basketball, kind of, I guess, with this current roster. they got a lot of guys. It's just they don't make it work once the playoffs start. I don't know why.
Every single year. And this year it's going to be the worst out of all of them because of how good they look right now. And I hope they don't.
Yeah, so if you're Cleveland, right, and say if you're a first round,
I wouldn't do well.
So if you're the first round, right, or the second round, even right, what do you then? There's not much more you can do to improve the roster.
Yeah, I think Garland's playing better this year than he was last year by a mile. I think he's playing a lot better this year.
From this is they got a lot of people. Yeah, Garland's playing great.
And I think Mobley's playing really well too.
So Donovan Mitchell playing phenomenal. Garland's doing great. Mobley's doing great. I mean, 18 points a game.
Jared Allen,
10 rebounds. Jared Allen, yeah, he's going to be 10 boards a game, 13 points. But what I'm seeing is it looks like they got a lot of people who aren't playing as much as they should. I mean, you can see here, you got your main starting five who are getting 70 games in the season, and then it just drops. They got people who are only playing 30 games, 40 games. They got a lot of people under 10 games who have even played around 50, 40. So it's like their starting five is really all they got. Their bench isn't really stacked whatsoever. Which we've seen when it comes to playoffs, your bench really does matter. When you're going to back-to-back 7-game series, depending on who you're up against, if you don't have the depth,
a lot of winning teams that have that bench guy or that role player that stand out 1 or 2 games that win you the game, or it's like that game made a difference to win the series. So your stars definitely can't always do it all.
A prime team is Boston. Look at Derek White.
Yeah.
Yep.
Derek White.
Pritchard. I like Peyton Pritchard.
Peyton Pritchard. He plays his role. Yeah, like I said, you got guys that can come off the bench or low in the depth chart, kind of, that can come out and give you a lot of good minutes.
Let's jump over. Let's see how their roster is doing.
So real quick before we jump though, I've been sitting here thinking, fuck the Nuggets. I'm picking Warriors in 7.
I think you're gonna regret that.
Warriors in 7. I'm calling this right now. We play the Nuggets. You know why? Because the most you ever see Jokic frustrated is when he has to play against Steph Curry.
I mean, I'd be frustrated too.
So like I said, I'm gonna pick the Warriors. You know what? Fuck it. Give me in 7. And if we go to the 3rd seed, give it to me in 6 then.
I respect it.
And I'll stand on that one.
I
mean, we go to 4. If we go to 4. If we're in the 4, and then I'll get to in the 5, in 6 then. I'm going to put it on that one, in 6.
I definitely think it's a series that can go either way, so.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I think we move to the 3. If we move to the 3, and we can avoid OKC until the conference, we can make it to the conference then. Because I'm not afraid of any team except for OKC. I know Guido doesn't agree with me on that one, but I'm not worried about the Rockets.
Rockets I'm not as worried about. I do think people are underestimating, even though the Thunder are the number 1 in the 64 wins. Yeah. I think people are still sleeping on they're such a young team.
Yeah. But that's the only team I'm worried about.
Has been growing together though.
That's what I'm saying. We can avoid OKC. I feel very confident in our chances of getting to the conference finals.
Yeah. Honestly, I think if I like OKC to win it this year. I can't lie to you. So I'm a big OKC guy though. So
no, I respect OKC a lot. OKC has been they've been building.
But the thing with OKC is the only one thing with OKC is this. Let's see how when you're playing in a 7-game series. And if the main goal every game is to take away SGA, let's see how the rest of the team play. Not saying the rest of the team ain't good.
Yeah.
But obviously SGA is a front runner for MVP for good reasons. He can really ball. And also one other thing too, and again, I might sound like a hater or old head or whatever, but SGA is not going to get a lot of these calls that he's getting in the playoff once the playoffs start. Like he's still going to get calls. He's going to still get to the line. He ain't taking 20 free throws a game. I'll tell you this right now. There's no way he's going to take 20 free throws in 7-game series all throughout the playoffs. So let's see how that works. But I do like Chet a lot. I've always been a huge Chet Holmgren fan. And now that he's back, I think that's awesome. What do you like about OKC specifically? Is it SGA? Do you like the whole roster, Evan?
I think I just like how they're a team. They're just like it's like a bunch of brothers playing. Like it's like if you have a whole bunch of friends, you guys go out and just play like a summer league or something. Like they're all just having fun. They're just like you see it in all the post game interviews. You see it. It's just like
the chemistry's there.
They're there for each other, and that goes a long way. So not even about always having the best players. It's just about having guys that you work well with, you mesh well, and you're just out there playing the game you love. So.
And I think when you look at all these championship teams that won championships, you have a 3-person core that's been consistent together. You know what I'm saying? When you go back to like the Bulls, you had Jordan, Pippen, you had Rodman. You know what I'm saying? With the Heat when LeBron was there, you had Wade, you had Bosh, you had LeBron. All guys that played multiple years at a high level together.
The
Warriors,
Steph,
like
Clay,
and Draymond. You know, you have when you have a consistency amongst your top 3 leaders / guys, that goes a long way. That's why when you have these teams like the Suns who go out and get a KD, a Bradley Beal, and Booker, and it was like, okay, they're winning the championship now. You're not winning the championship, one, because you have no bench, but also two, just because you get a bunch of superstars together does not mean you're going to play winning basketball.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, so you already said your pick for win it all would be OKC. Who do you think the final is going to match up? OKC against who? You think Boston? You like Cleveland? The Knicks?
I don't like Cleveland. I don't want to pick Boston, but I feel like I got to pick Boston. So I'm going to pick Boston. I don't think Cleveland gets it done. I think if the Knicks, it could be the Knicks. I think Knicks could be a team that does it. I don't know. Boston's team, like, they're just solid all the way around. You got a bench. You got Jaylen Brown that can give you 30. Jason Tatum can give you 30. Derek White might give you 18, 20. So.
Yeah.
And you're missing one of the biggest guys.
Porzingis.
If Porzingis stays healthy, I told everybody that was a monster trade for them.
I can't believe they got it.
And you got him for cheap too. I thought it was I thought at that time it was like a cheap deal. I think you traded like 1 or 2 first rounds maybe.
Well, that's also Porzingis was having a little fall off a couple seasons with injuries, not playing well.
And you still got Drew Holiday, who is an elite defender that can give you 15 points.
Yeah, so I mean, they got Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Drew Holiday, Al Horford, Sam Hauser, Luke Cornett, and all these dudes are coming in. They're putting up points. They're a great rebounding team, great assist team. They got players who are averaging at least 1 steal, 2 steals a game. They're getting blocks every game. They're actually pretty low on turnovers. I mean,
yeah, that starting 5 alone. Like, if you just hear the starting 5, it's just,
yeah.
You got to imagine you put some of these guys on other teams, like.
Yeah, some of these guys, I think they go to other teams, and they become stars of them teams.
Yeah, 100%. And then one last thing before we move to the NFL, because obviously that's our bread and butter, and that's what we want to talk most about today, obviously. So your personal opinion, do we agree that Jason Tatum does not get enough recognition in the league?
I do not know.
Like,
Jason Tatum's one of my favorite players, so I do not get why he gets so much hate.
Do you agree he's a top 5 player? Top 5, maybe to 7, maybe. If you want to stretch and argue some other players, you can. He's at least in the top 7 between 7 and 1. And he ain't number 7 at least. Like I said, if I had to,
I think he's super talented.
Yeah.
I think the disrespect is crazy for Jason Tatum.
Oh, let's touch Wizards. He's a Wizards fan.
All right, let's touch the Wizards real quick.
What do you think of this young Wizards core right now? A lot of people on this pod, not saying names, don't like them. I'm loving.
I don't hate the Wizards. Don't put me in the same boat as David.
David is the biggest hater. I mean, he shits on us every second. I like what we're doing.
So hear me out real quick, Evan. I would love. Well, you will meet David at the flag football when we do the flag football. David supports every fucking team in the NBA except for the Wizards. I don't like every time you talk to him, it's like originally he's a Houston fan. Now you got 76ers jerseys. And then he's like, well, KD's a hometown hero. I love KD. And then it's like, and then it's like he liked the Clippers. And then it's like he likes every team except. And then he's like, I really like I don't hate Golden State because he had Kevin Durant. I mean,
he's about to get a Luka jersey.
Yeah, it's like this dude David, man. When it comes to the NBA,
no loyalty.
He has zero fucking loyalty. And I get a lot of hate on this pod because I'm a Josh Allen guy for my disloyalty. I like one guy from another team. This dude likes every fucking team except for his hometown team. Because Washington is a hometown team because you have no Baltimore basketball team.
They need to bring that back. We need a team. I would drop the Wings immediately if Baltimore had a team.
But sorry, I had to go on a quick little rant for a second. But Evan, didn't mean to cut you off. So what do you think about this up-and-coming Washington team? And I'm gonna grab another beer because this beer actually.
I like him a lot. I like Bub. I like Bub a lot. I do kind of miss. I was hurt when Denny left. I felt like I liked Denny a lot.
Me too. I like Denny. Yeah, I liked him a lot.
He was. I feel like he was a hooper. I feel like a lot of people. Obviously, he doesn't get enough maybe recognition because he's on the Wizards. But he was tough, man. He was a good guy.
The Wizards didn't use him like they should have. He didn't get the time that he deserved. He didn't really get the plays. I'll wait for you to come back and put this up.
Hey, real quick. We gotta do a little comment real quick.
Of course, here's
Matt in the chat by David.
David for not even showing up.
Fuck you, David.
Back to Wizards. Like Denny he didn't get the play time he deserved. They didn't really have any design plays for him. He was a great shooter. He was young, athletic. I think he was a good team guy, and we didn't use him like we should have, and we let him go. But I mean the team we got right now, I like Jordan Poole.
Yeah, you guys have him. You guys keep Jordan Poole.
I wasn't a big fan of when we got Jordan Poole. He has his games where he's great. He has games where he's terrible. But I was happy to get rid of Kuzma.
I was
like how Kuzma go. Whatever. Yeah. Get whatever we can out of him. I mean, Alex Starr, who I think should be at least he's got to be top 5 for Rookie of the Year runnings. He's been playing phenomenal.
Yeah, he has played well.
He
started off slow.
But he's Bilal Coulier, he's a great young player. Both Carrington, I like a lot. Recently picked up Sean George. He's been going. We got some guys who, I mean, they're filling their roles. They're starting to mesh. Starting to sort of see. Are you good?
Can you hear us still? My bad, I almost called you Kenny. Evan, can you hear us still?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. All right.
Good?
Yeah. We're it's on our end. I need to get new laptop on my side. My bad. Good.
No, you're good.
But I'm seeing now. This could be a long shot. This could be too far ahead. But I think what the Wizards are building here is sort of what we've seen OKC been building. A young core who all have their certain roles that they fill greatly, and they're like a young, fun. They're building like this brotherhood that I'm starting to like. That I think OKC did very well with. I think that's the direction we're going in. We don't need to go pick up some crazy superstar from some other team. Let's keep building. Hopefully in the draft we could get a Cooper Flag, but if not, I'm fine with going and getting another great player who's maybe not as big of a name as him, who is maybe not just as good as the ball as Cooper Flag, because he's the number 1 for a reason. But someone else who's also a phenomenal player that fits that role better than maybe Cooper Flag might be.
Yeah, it's like I'm be honest, and again, I give a lot of credit to Jordan Poole because he was a big part of winning that championship for us.
Hey man, pool party, put respect.
Yeah, I'm going to give him credit, but when you watch him play, and I've talked to others about it too, like he reminds you of a guy playing at like LA Fitness.
Yeah,
where it's like he's very wild with the ball. He doesn't really seem like he had like he has like 101 IQ, but he doesn't have like team basketball IQ.
Put
it feels like.
Way. This is
if that makes sense.
You know how we see LaMelo Ball come down the court? He does, like the street ball moves. He's having fun doing dribble moves, and then we'll throw like up the craziest shot you ever see. He's doing, one-legged fadeaways, hitting it, smiling from down. I think Jordan Poole in his head's like, I can do that too.
And he can't.
And it comes down, and then he bricks. And it's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I think he has that mindset where he's like, I got the LaMelo package too. Like, I just got that off 2K. I got that package. It's in my bag. Brick. I don't know. I mean, he's playing good for us, but...
So what's your thoughts on him? Because Evan's a hooper. Like, he really hoops for real like that. Like, what would you, if you were, like, kind of training Jordan Poole, like a personal trainer, what would you have him work on? Or would you just be like, hey, you just suck. You got to go?
No, I don't think he sucks. I'm not a big Jordan Poole guy myself. I don't think he sucks. I think he just needs to be more of a team guy. Just It doesn't always have to be you taking the shot. It doesn't always have to be you don't need the ball in your hands. You're not like a super starter where you need the ball in your hands 24/7.
Exactly.
Like
I put Jordan Poole as like maybe a number 3 on a championship team. I know he was like, people make arguments that he was our number 2 for our championship team. I think Andrew Wiggins was. But for you to win a championship in Washington, he can't be your 1 or your 2. I feel like he got to be your 3. And it's no disrespect. Like I said, being a 3 is great.
Yeah.
But I just don't think he has like the winning kind of behind him. Because like I asked Evan because Evan really hoops. Yeah. Like he's a hooper. He ain't with the regular just horse, like playing horse and stuff, or like the warehouse 3-point competition. That's all, touchy subject right there. I see Evan, we're going to play this week and he's just going to drop me just because I'm bringing it up now.
No, with the Jordan Poole aspect, I mean, like, I think in his head, coming off the Warriors, he was like, I'm going to the Wizards. I'm the best player on this team.
Yeah,
exactly.
This is
my team.
To him, he's like, I'm taking over the Wizards. I'm going to be what Steph was with the Warriors. I watched Steph. I'm going to go do this with the Warriors. And, brother, you're not Steph. You're not who you think you are. I think he has talent. He can be a great player. He lacks the IQ, I feel.
Yeah, now I agree. It's the IQ aspect.
And I think that's why he was off the Warriors. I mean, him and Draymond had whatever, but I think he was very immature also.
Draymond popped the shit out.
Yeah, the Warriors had a winning formula. They knew what they were doing. I mean, they're the Warriors.
Yeah.
You come on, you have a great season, and I think it just pumped his head up where he started to try to go against that Warriors ball, and Draymond was like, look, dog, we've been winning for a reason. Yeah. You ain't going to come here and sabotage. I send you to DC, and that's what it was. And
I think part of it too was like, okay, I'm a big Wiggins guy. I put Wiggins ahead Poole, but let's just scrap Wiggins out of the equation. Yeah. It's like Poole thought he was one of the main guys, and Draymond's like, whoa, hold on. Yeah, you're like 4th in the hierarchy right now, at a minimum.
4th, because I mean,
like from a player standpoint, just from a player, like maybe like
you had Steph, you had Clay and Wiggins. Draymond.
I said maybe let's disclude Wiggins because I'm biased, but again, I'd put Wiggins above, but other people would say no.
No, I would put Poole at the 4 or 5.
Yeah, at the 5, like at a hierarchy, and I think he was walking around as if like he already took the reins from Steph, because I think the goal was to have Poole stay, obviously, and then once Steph retired, he was going to slide in that slot, and I think after that first championship, Poole was like, I'm already there. I mean, you got to put some respect on my name. And I'm like, you got to remember, these guys were winning basketball way, way before you even got there. Yeah. So I don't hate Poole. Let's get ready to switch to the next topic, actually, so we can keep this moving a little bit. So that was NBA. So now we're going to go to the NFL offseason. Before we talk too much on the NFL offseason, just real quick, remind everybody what team you're affiliated with again.
Hey, I see that hat in the background.
We see the hat, but
yeah, I'm definitely a Washington fan. So it's been an experience of my life.
So right now, what was your favorite offseason move so far?
I think if you're a Washington fan, you gotta say it's the Laramie Tunsil trade. I don't think anybody from our side expected it. I definitely didn't expect it. I was shocked when I seen it.
That was huge.
Yeah, so I think that's by far my favorite offseason.
What about the Debo? Debo's got to be up there.
I definitely like Debo. I think originally I didn't want Debo. I think I told you about this, Matt. But I think for a 5th round pick, I'm not mad at the 5th round pick that can go.
Yeah.
Bringing him in with Cliff, Cliff's a gadget guy. This guy you can throw him in the backfield. You can throw him in the slot, like outside. He can do a lot of weird stuff with him. So I'm excited for it. I will say Debo didn't come off the best year. Maybe it takes a change of scenery for him to get back to where he was. Maybe it's just he's not going to be as good as he once was, but I still think he's an upgrade from you name any other wide receiver besides Terry that we had last year. He's an upgrade. So that's the way I look at it.
And I think, like you said with Cliff, I think he fits Cliff's offense to a T. And I think it's going to be super scary with JD in the back, with Debo possibly running that sweep play, and then Eckler for the check down. Like, you're going to have, like, when Eckler's lined in too. And I was a big Eckler guy last year. I thought he did a lot for you guys that was unexpected. And because of Cliff's kind of offense, I think them three, when they're lined up, defense is going to have help.
Absolutely.
Because you still have Scary Terry on the outside. So it's like, you can't really load the box, but if you don't load the box, you got three guys that are either going to get either JD's going to tuck and run. Either Eckler's going to go in and out for 5, and that's going to turn into 7. Yeah. Or Debo's going to do a sweep play. You're going to pitch it off to him. He's so fast and strong. He's getting at least 5-6 yards on it, regardless if he gets touched at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, you said your favorite offseason. What else do you want to see? Because I know you guys have a lot of salary cap, so you guys can still do a couple moves.
What I really wanted, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's definitely not going to happen now that we traded for Tunsil, but I definitely wanted Hendrickson off the Bengals. I thought that was the move. I thought that was the route we were going to go before, like, it literally just popped up on my phone that we got Larmy. So I definitely want to get some couple guys on the defensive line. I definitely think we need a pass rusher that's going to get to the quarterback, that's going to cause chaos. I don't think we really had it this year. I meant last year. We had Fowler. Wasn't bad, wasn't great. He was just all right. Like, he was just an average guy.
Yeah.
Defense line's not looking too great. I think that was a big part of our problem last year, especially being in a division with Philly where you got Saquon, you got Jalen Hurts. Yeah. So I definitely think that's the biggest issue that we need to address now is getting a good defense line, getting some run stoppers, getting some guys that can get to the quarterback. And
So Evan, do you follow a lot of college football or no?
I try to keep up with it during the draft. I could probably name you a solid 5 to 7 players, maybe more, but I'm definitely not like a huge college guy.
Yeah. So who would you look for? Like, again, so I'm assuming, so obviously Washington has a first round pick. I don't think they got rid of it by any chance.
They got the
29th. What position are you looking, like, what position are you most hopeful they draft for? And do you have any player in mind? It's no big deal if you don't have a player, but what position would you be looking for?
I think what I think they're gonna do, I think they're gonna trade back. I think Adam Peters is a big draft guy, big picks. He wants as many picks as possible. I think they trade back. I think if I can name any one player, I'd probably pick the Ohio State running back. What's it, Henderson? So yeah, that's probably be the guy I'd pick. I don't know too many defensive guys besides a couple that I don't think we'll get. So I'm not even going to say their names because I just don't see it happening.
Yeah. So with your mindset about that running back, so are we saying that the whole experience with what's his name? Who's your guy's running back again?
Brian
Thomas. Yeah, I just traded him in fantasy. I got rid of him. Are we giving up on Brian Thomas, you think?
Yeah,
Brian Robinson.
Yeah, I'm done with B-Rob. I think it's time for I want someone back there. I want somebody like give me like a Jahmyr Gibbs type of guy, like somebody that's just quick, savvy, like a twitchy kind of guy. B-Rob just kind of no patience really from what I see, just kind of runs into the middle of into the pile and gets you a yard. Not to mention he had a fumbling problem last year.
Yeah. Now, it surprised me. I thought with Eckler coming there, I'm like, nice. Eckler would be the second running back. I think it would help Brian Robinson explode more because now you got the veteran that'll also teach him because, Eckler is a phenomenal catching running back. I'm like, that opens up Robinson's game. He learned some of that. And I feel like Eckler, even at that age, came in and just outshined Robinson, especially in the playoffs. I think he outshined him. I was just like, Brian Robinson, this is, you're supposed to be the starting running back. You're the young guy on the team, and you just let the old guy come from a different team and just come show you out. So, yeah, that was a surprise.
And I think his style of running doesn't fit the offense that Cliff wants to run. Like, his style of running is he's not really a pass catcher. He's not really shifty. He, like you said, he just runs into the pile kind of. And that's not what Cliff wants to kind of run. He likes to run the gadget, like you said. That's why Debo fits. I think you guys wanted what makes sense for you guys to draft is a running back that's like Eckler from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
3 years ago, Eckler from a age standpoint with that type of style is what you guys want. So
I agree.
So how happy were you with last season? Obviously, you're never happy with losing. Obviously, in the playoffs, you had to be.
Yeah,
you had to be happy,
of course.
Right?
I was very happy. I almost would have rather losing earlier in the playoffs than making it to the championship, to where it's like now you start to really believe like, well, we're a game away. This could happen against a Philly team that, division games can go either way. Obviously, Philly was the better team. I'm not even taking anything away from them. They're the best team in the NFL. But
absolutely.
You get that close to where it's like, this is like, now it's becoming reality. Like after we beat Detroit, I started thinking, I was like, yeah, this could, especially because that was before the Philly even played the Rams. I was like, man, if the Rams could somehow upset Philly, this could happen. Like this could really, we could go all the way.
Boy, if you guys would have faced the Rams instead of Philly,
y'all
would have went to the Super Bowl. And this is like, I feel bad because I'm gonna be honest, when we did our picks, I originally said Detroit was going to dog walk you guys, and it was no knock on JD. It was no knock on what you guys are doing. It's just with that Detroit's offense, I thought.
On paper, power.
I mean, just what they did all year is like you had a guy in Jared Goff who threw 5 or 6 picks in one game and still won. Yeah. I mean, like, how do you stop a team like that? Washington showed a lot of grit. And I'm with you on the defense part. Even the Philly game, it's like I think we talked about it, Evan, some where it's like you guys were in that game. Yeah. It was self-inflicted wounds. Entire game.
I'm not going to sit here and play the if game, but I mean, we had 3 fumbles that I feel like every time those fumbles happened, it was a 1-possession game, maybe like 8 points. I mean, I could pull it up, and it's just every time it's fumble, it's like 1-possession game, or we need a score here to stay in the game, and the fumbles happen. So, I mean, it is what it is, but you got to look back and be like, man, if we protected the ball, they definitely wouldn't have scored 55. So,
100%. So before we go to any more offseason stuff, you're a big Washington guy. Tell me, how much do you love JD5? And how happy? Because like before the draft started, me and Dave were on the pod, before Guido and Timmy got on here and everything, and we were talking about our quarterbacks. I think David agreed with me as well. I would have rather picked JD5 as the number 1 over Caleb Williams. I thought JD5 was better coming into the draft than Caleb Williams. And I'm so happy to see JD5 flourish where he's at right now. And I'm glad he went to Washington.
I think it was a better fit.
I think that fits him perfectly. So, but again, how much do you love JD5? Is he arguably the best quarterback you've seen for Washington all your years of playing?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's got to be the best quarterback that I've ever seen play. So, for my team, at least. I liked RG3 a lot. I mean, I was a little younger I wasn't like too young, but he came in. He could have been, he doesn't get injured. He could have been the guy. We're not going to sit here and talk about RG3 too much, but JD5 is the real deal. I was a big Caleb guy, though. I think when we signed Cliff, I really thought we were going to try to make a trade for the first round pick to get Caleb, because I know they kind of got a relationship. But after I realized that wasn't a possibility, I was a big JD guy, and it was either Caleb or JD is who I wanted. So I'm very happy that's the route we took.
And then I don't know if Guido agrees with me or not. I can't remember because we talked about this weeks ago. And I'm big on season by season. Coming in next year, JD5, I don't know if you agree with this or not. He is a top 5 quarterback coming in the season next year.
Yeah.
For me personally.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely going to say yes. Of course. Yeah.
I mean,
think so.
I can barely name quarterbacks in my mind that I'd take over JD5 going into next season. Obviously, besides like the top three are locked. You got your Patty, you got your Lamar, and you got your Allen. I don't think.
Yeah, I give you 4. I throw Joe Burrow in there. I'm a big Joe Burrow guy, so I like Joe Burrow.
Respect. I'm the only one holding.
See, I had you on this. Joe Burrow doesn't fucking win. Sorry. No, Joe Burrow does not fucking win.
Joe Burrow doesn't have a defense to help.
I don't give a shit. Lamar's never had anything and he wins.
Yeah, but the Bengals defense was like, damn near 30.
Yeah, I'm putting Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, you could pull up the game against the Bengals. The Bengals didn't get one stop. We scored every single drive. If they get one stop, they probably win the game.
Look at the Ravens games. They put up 30-some points on us. I mean, between that game, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase had over 1,000 yards just playing the Ravens twice in one season.
I have an honest opinion. Honest question, right? So the Bengals finished 9 wins last year, right? Give or take, right?
I think it was 9 wins.
You slot JD in the same spot as Joe Burrow. They got 9 wins or more. They might even have more. I'm gonna be honest with you because this is my issue with Joe Burrow, right? In some of them games they lost last year, he's throwing picks at the end of the game.
That's because
That's
they're
the
behind
problem.
And
I get you.
Have to air it out.
I mean, I hear you, but like JD 5, top 5 coming next season.
Yeah.
So real quick, before we go off of Washington, we talk about the rest of the off.
Top 5. Are you putting?
We're about to do a top 5 real quick.
Let me hear
so before we go off of Washington too much, and we go to the rest of the NFL, what is your top 5 quarterback coming in next season?
And
it doesn't have to be in order. It can just be off rip. It doesn't have to be a specific exact order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or you can do an exact order because I have my exact order. But again,
yeah, I think I'll just get my exact order and we can see if it lines up with y'all's or whatever. I think 1, I'm still gonna pick Mahomes. I mean, he's a winner. He's proven he can win.
Yeah.
You can't knock him. You just can't knock him yet.
I don't disagree.
2's tough because I feel you can make an argument for both. I'm going to pick Lamar as the second best quarterback in the league going into the season. I still think I think he played outstanding football last year, probably some of his best football that we've seen. Yeah. You can I wouldn't be mad if you made the argument saying Josh Allen at the 2. I wouldn't be mad if you say Josh Allen's better than Lamar. I think you can argue both. For me, I'm going to pick Lamar. 3's obviously then coming right behind him is Josh Allen. I'm going to give Joe Burrow the 4 just because I'm a Joe Burrow guy. I like Joe Burrow. I think if he had a defense, like we were saying, they could be something. They could be making a run. And then 5, I'm going to go with my guy, 5.
JD 5. I mean, it fits.
So, again, do you want to recap your top 5 real quick or no?
My top 5.
This is almost the same as his, right? Give or take?
I don't remember exactly what I said.
But you can. It's fluid.
It's pretty much the same. I think I feel like next season the Chiefs don't have the same type of season they've been having. I think they have a fall off. But I don't want to drop Mahomes too low, so I'm gonna still probably give him the edge at 1.
I feel like it's a respect thing.
Yeah, as like you said, he's a winner. He's been doing this. He's been to more Super Bowls than any other QB in the league right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go Mahomes, Lamar, Josh, Burrow, and at my 5, it's like, do you put? I personally, I don't want to put Jalen Hurts at 5. I don't want to put Jalen Hurts at 5. Do I give JD 5 the edge off a great rookie season? But then I'm also a very big CJ Stroud guy. Yep. And I think
I'm a big
85 and Stroud has very similar rookie seasons. So I think, me personally, I think I'm going to go Stroud at 5, JD at 6, and then give me Jalen Hurts. But I wouldn't be mad, swapping JD 5 with CJ Stroud. I just love CJ Stroud.
I'm a big CJ guy too, so I respect it.
Give us what you got. Go ahead and put Hurts and JD 5 in your top 5.
So real quick,
we know your list.
I'm a big CJ Stroud guy. I said it last year. Me and Dave were talking about it. I want to get CJ Stroud's jersey. Like, I just love his. If you give John Morant CJ Stroud's mentality, John Morant's the best player in NBA. I'm sorry to go backwards, but again, CJ Stroud is a team guy. He is a phenomenal player. He is great. I love CJ Stroud, but guess what? CJ Stroud's not my top 5 still. So I will give my top 5 in order. It's Patrick Mahomes. Why? Because Patrick Mahomes has won how many AFC championships in a row? I don't give a shit if he has a bad season.
Yeah, too many to count.
I don't care statistically if it's a low season. I don't care.
One
you know why?
Does not mean
even if it's 2, it could be 1, 2, 3. I don't care. If you still get to the championship game not championship game. If you get to the Super Bowl over and over and over again, that's all that matters. So Patty's at 1, Lamar's at 2. You know, I'm a big Allen guy. I can be unbiased when I have these conversations, though. And I'm a Ravens guy, but I'm an Allen guy. I can be unbiased. Lamar is A and B. Lamar is A right now because Lamar is coming off the better season by Atlanta. In my mind, I thought Lamar should have won MVP last year. Yeah. Personally, still. But I'm not mad at it. No, yeah. Then Allen's at 3, and I'm a big Allen guy. And I think this is the thing. Lamar and Allen flip every year for me, kind of. Because every year is a little different for both players. So Allen's at 3. When I originally did this list, I was a little disrespectful. I put JD 5-4, which I am going to recant that. JD 5, I'm not disrespecting him. He's not 4. You know why? Because the guy who's been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years is at 4. The guy who looked the best in the Super Bowl the last 2 times he's played is at 4. Give me Jalen Hurts. And look, I get a lot of hate because I moved him to 4 or 5, but I had him at 7 or 8. So it's not that big of a launch. And I'm going to put JD 5 at 5 to match JD 5. And you know what? I can't remember how I did my order or not, but I think I have CJ Stroud around 6, give or take. I think it's CJ Stroud. And then everybody else, I really don't give a shit about.
Where do you got Burrow then at 7, 8?
Oh, no. I'll put Burrow at 6 probably.
Okay.
And then CJ Stroud at 7. I'm sorry. I'm beyond. So Evan, I don't want to go on a rant real quick, but I'm about to go on a rant real quick.
That's crazy.
You cannot be like 23 and fucking 30 in the NFL. I mean 30 and 23 in the NFL and be a top 5 quarterback. You cannot have almost a 500 record. And I get the defense, right? But let's look at Lamar. Lamar's had no weapons around him for the most part of his career and played. And there's been no excuses for him.
But our defense has always been great.
But there's never been an excuse there, has there? No. Same thing with Allen last year. Allen got hated on because he got Stephon Diggs. He had a top-rated defense. They're like, he couldn't do it without Diggs. He couldn't do it without defense.
Well, no, see, that's
but that's
a different.
Let me just go real quick. Like, again, I'm not saying the Bills had a bad offense. But, again, you lost to Stephon Diggs. You lost to Gabe Davis. We talked about in the NBA. Continuity is a big thing. Yeah. You lost all your continuity at the wide receiver position. Keon Coleman missed 5 games. Yeah. Amari Cooper came in midway season. Matt Collins was arguably your second best wide receiver on that team. And James Cook, I like James Cook a lot. He's a top 5 running back. He's on the top back in the top 5, but he's not like a difference maker like Saquon or Derrick Henry in my mind. I think James Cook is good. I don't think he's nowhere near them, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, and then those two are in a different.
Yeah, and then their defense, the Bills last year had 2 games that gave up almost 100 points. Their defense was mediocre all year, and guess what they did? Made it to the AFC Championship still. So that's why I have no sadness for Burrow and his defense because Lamar's done it without talent. Allen's done it without talent, and not without talent, but lesser talent than what he's had, and no defense essentially, and they still do it. So that's why, in my mind, the only quarterbacks that are elite are the top 3 because I treat it like it's Olympics. You got gold, silver, and bronze. Everybody else, I don't give a shit about. Yeah. Not give a shit, but I'm not that worried about. But yeah, that's my top whatever. I went on a rant. And real quick, one more thing. Don't be surprised. Matt Stafford's gonna move up my top 10 this year. With Devontae Adams and Puka. If that O-line can hold up.
I think Matt Stafford's top 10 regardless. I don't think you can name 10 quarterbacks better than Matt Stafford.
I think I move up in my top 10. I have him in my top 10, I think.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I think he's gonna move. I think he's gonna have a top almost 5 performance this year. Almost. I think he's gonna be right on the outside around maybe 6 or 7, give or take at the most. He could surprise me go higher. But again, he showed last year when that O-line protected him, he can throw every fucking throw in the league.
So you really think Jalen Hurts is that good?
What's that?
You really think Jalen Hurts is that good?
Yeah. Let me give you my breakdown. Can I give you my logic real quick?
Yeah.
So I don't think Jalen Hurts is that great, right? I don't think he's talent from a talent standpoint is that great. But I'm sorry, when in 3 years you go to Super Bowl 2 times, and in the first Super Bowl you lost, you were the best player on that field. I thought you were the best player, and then in this playoff run, and again I said in the Commanders game before the Commanders game happened, right? I need to see more. I need him to throw the ball more. And what did he do? He threw the ball to A.J. Brown all over you guys. No disrespect, but he had a real good game throwing the ball. And then once he get a Super Bowl again, I wouldn't say he looked like the best player, but he looked like a top 3 player in that game too.
He was phenomenal.
So I can't I guess this might be the old head in me, kind of. We used to pay players off of what you do, not off of potential. Jalen Hurts is doing it. Regardless whether the defense, the O-line, whatever, he's not turning the ball over, and you got to give him respect for last season. I mean, and then 2 Super Bowl appearances in 3 seasons and 1 win, and you arguably looked the best, and that one you lost was a nail-biter. Like, I got to put a little respect on Jalen Hurts.
I respect it. I can't
okay.
personally, but
No, let's do a couple more. I'll be right back real quick. Talk about the Brock Purdy.
Oh yeah. So another thing Matt wanted to talk about is we've had a heated debate on here. I believe Matt is on the same side as David, but they believe Brock Purdy is trash. They think that, he is the reason for the 49ers downfall. I don't believe in that.
I don't think he's trash. I'm not saying he's somebody like great, but like I think it's like he fit the 49ers. Like you needed a solid guy to come in. He can make some plays. He can protect the ball.
Yeah.
He didn't come in, had the best season last year. But, I mean, that team as a whole, you lose McCaffrey. You losing your star player as a whole is going to bring the morale down. It's going to be like in the back of your head. You're not thinking the season's over, but in the back of your head is like, how we can't win without him.
No, I agree. It seemed like McCaffrey went down, and then it just felt like every few weeks another player went down, and then another player went down. Somebody came back, oh, they're gone again. Like the 49ers just struggled as a team whole.
Yeah, I mean, I think there were so many injuries last year, and it's like you losing McCaffrey, that's like if the Eagles lost Saquon.
Yeah, they fall apart.
So what I miss?
So you were on the side of you don't think Brock Purdy's that good, right?
No. He's on that side. I'm not on that side at all. No,
I said I wasn't sure which side you were on.
So I don't think Brock Purdy. My bad. I want to go on a rant for Brock Purdy real quick for a second too. I don't think Brock Purdy is a bad quarterback. I think he's a pretty good quarterback.
I think he's solid.
2 years ago he was in an MVP conversation until the Ravens game.
Yeah.
And then that year I remember this stat wholeheartedly. Right. He had 31 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Mm-hmm. So I'm not a big guy in doing the if thing and the hypothetical. But let's do the if thing hypothetical real quick. Them 11 interceptions are from 4 of them are from one game, which is the Ravens, and he threw no touchdowns that game. Yeah, so if you take away one game out of the 17 he played, so out of 16 games, he threw 31 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. That's right. I don't care who you have, you still got to make the throw.
Yeah.
And then I'm a big believer. Again, I've talked about this earlier, like 5 minutes ago, about getting paid for what you can do and what you've done. Brock Purdy has taken the team to the NFC Championship twice in 3 seasons now, and 1 Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, no disrespect to Philly. If Brock Purdy never got hurt that game, Philly might not made the Super Bowl that game.
I don't think they would have.
Yeah, like I said, you had nobody throwing the football.
Yeah, McCaffrey
and Brock Purdy makes $800,000 a year. You owe him we cry all the time about the Brandon Ayuks or the Jamar Chases. All these guys, like, they outplayed their contract. They deserve a contract. My bad. Why is that not the same energy for Brock Purdy?
Yeah.
Like, Brock Purdy drastically outpaid his whole entire contract.
Well, and that was one thing David kept saying. He's like, he doesn't deserve to get paid. They need to just get rid of him. I'm like, doesn't deserve to get paid. The man was literally like one of the last drafted players.
He had
right. It's like nobody expected him to even play. Like,
yeah.
You just draft him because it's like, hey, he's the last pick.
Yeah.
And let's keep it real, too. The way taxes go. Like I said, he's making a lot more money than me still. But $800,000 a year after taxes at 40%?
Yeah.
He's still only making. I mean, not only, but as an NFL quarterback, you're making what, $400,000 a year,
roughly. Yeah.
He's making what, 4 times what I'm making. He has a roommate still. He earned he earned at least a $50 million contract.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. So with him getting ready to get paid, is their window closing now that he's not on that rookie contract no more?
Yes.
Is their window? So. Yeah.
I think I'm at 80%. I'm 80% yes, but 20% no, only if Kyle Shanahan stays. If Kyle Shanahan rides it out with the 49ers, your window is not 100% closed.
Yeah.
Because I think Kyle Shanahan is the best offensive-minded coach. One of the best offensive-minded coaches in the league.
Yeah. Imagine having him and Sean McVay on the same coaching staff. It's pretty crazy.
Yes.
No, I
don't hire one of them.
I think their window closes if they don't draft well.
Mm-hmm.
You keep Purdy and you pay him what he deserves. If you don't draft well, because the reason they had so much success is because they paid him so cheap because of his contract.
Yep.
You were able to pay, the big names on that offense that got them where they were. Now, Debo's gone. Ayuk's always injured. McCaffrey's injured. They're both coming back off injury, want to get paid. So it's like, everybody's going to want money all at the same time. Purdy's been waiting for his. He's going to get paid probably very well.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't draft well and bring in that cheaper talent to make up for losing the great talent they had, and also, they can't afford to pay people, they bring in cheap talent and they do well, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
If they do not hit on their draft, it's just going to be rough for 49ers fans.
I think he got hit on a draft because there's not a lot of free agents that are left there.
Yeah, and everybody wants money. Everybody wants big money now.
One last topic for the NFL before we get ready to sign off, guys. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers and Aaron Rodgers. Do we think Aaron Rodgers is going to the Steelers? And then, so Evan, do we think Aaron Rodgers is going to the Steelers? And what do you think does that do for the Steelers? Does that make them more competitive from a conference, from a division standpoint, conference, Super Bowl? What do you think?
I think if he's still going to play football, I don't know what other options he really has where to go.
Yeah.
I don't know what teams are looking for a quarterback still. I know a couple teams that are looking for a quarterback are most likely going to get ready and draft one. I do think he makes them better. It's hard to count out Aaron Rodgers because you've seen Aaron Rodgers be great for so long. But, last year he did not look good. And it's like, yeah, you can say he's on the Jets. The Jets by far weren't good as a whole.
Yeah.
But, he didn't look good last year. So do I think he makes them better than Russell Wilson? Yes. Does it make them more competitive? I don't know. Maybe a little bit, but nothing. I don't think they win with them, I guess is what I'm getting at.
I agree.
So do you not think Rodgers and then also the DK? So it's not just the Rodgers. You're also adding DK in now too?
Yeah, I'm not a big DK guy. I don't really like DK. So
really?
I'm not a big DK guy. I don't think he's that good. I don't think he was as good as what he got paid for. I'll say that.
I can agree with that.
I can see that. So no, I disagree. I'm gonna tell you why. And no disrespect, I feel like you give DK Metcalf a top 10 quarterback, he's no different than AJ Brown. I think they're the same.
But he hasn't had it. He's not going to get a top 10 quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying. I think it's a big part of it because of his quarterback play. I think because he showed when Russ was in his prime, he had a 1,400-yard season, 9 touchdowns. He's fast. He's big. He's physical.
Yeah. He's
no different from AJ Brown.
He has the size to be.
Yeah, he has the size to be great.
Insane.
You would think. Yeah.
I think if Rodgers goes to the Steelers, I think he is more negative than positive. He is too much of a hassle. He wants to run the team. Let's be honest, the Steelers aren't letting him come in and
no. Tomlin's not letting him.
Tomlin is not letting him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a good match anyway. But also, the Steelers are a very dedicated, we play as a team, we win as a team, we lose as a team, everybody locked in, off-season, stuff like that. Rodgers don't even show up to, preseason practices and stuff like that. He don't even show up to training camp. So it's like you bring in that headache on top of you already have 2 I would consider divas, as in George Pickens and DK. I think the team fights and falls apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you in that sense.
It is Rodgers though.
Before we wrap it up, I'm with you in that sense. I think the mentality has to go in. Yeah. And again, I guess because I'm a big DK guy, Pickens have to understand you're the number 2 now. Like
that's not gonna happen.
But I know it's not gonna happen. That's
I agree with you.
But I think it's the same dynamic as AJ Brown and Devontae Smith in Philly. Whereas like Devontae could be a number 1 somewhere else, same thing with Pickens, which he's been with the Steelers. But Devontae understands that he's not the number 1. He's a number 2. He's a great player. He wants the ball. Beautifully. But I mean, like that's what because DK is much better than Pickens. I don't like Pickens at all. I think we talked about the other day. I think there's an argument made that Pickens isn't even top 20 at wide receivers in the league. I think if you really sit down and name all the wide receivers in your head and really think about it, there is an argument for him not being in top 20. So that's just my personal. I think the Steelers are more competitive with Rodgers. I think the difference with like Russ is like Russ had 1 ball, which was the moon ball. Once you take that away, he doesn't have a lot of versatility. And one last thing to kind of defend Rodgers, even though I slandered him some because everybody on the pod when they first got Rodgers with the Jets was saying the Jets are winning the division regardless.
I did not agree.
I thought you were one. No, you weren't. Okay, everyone else said the Jets are winning the division over the Bills. Part of it trolling, part of it's being for real. But if you look at Rodgers' stats last year, and it's not all about the stats, also obviously, but he finished top 10 in almost every throwing category. So like, he had a better touchdown interception ratio than CJ Stroud. I remember pulling that up at one point. So statistically, he did not have that bad of a year. It's just I think the Jets are just the Jets.
Yeah.
And then I also think Rodgers, when he had his bad moments, they were so fucking bad. Yeah. They were portrayed to the whole entire world.
Yeah.
So
I can agree with that.
But all right, before we signed off, Evan, again, thanks for hopping on today, bro.
Appreciate you. It was a good time, man.
Nah, yeah, I really enjoyed it. So anytime you guys want to have me back, I'll be more than happy to come back. Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
The closer to the season, we'll have him back.
Definitely.
And then during the season.
And then Evan's gonna be on the stream. Real quick, let's do a little sneak preview while we got Evan here, real quick, right? Because this has been behind the scenes. I talked to Evan about it because Evan's gonna be a part of it. So everyone that's listening right now and anybody that goes back and watch, so Brews&Ball this year is gonna have a flag football tournament.
Yeah. I can't wait.
And it's gonna be 4 teams.
Yeah.
The teams are gonna be Team Matt, Team Guido, Team Timmy. And Team, what's his name? David. Team David. My bad. Sorry, David. David's gonna be mad as shit. But we're gonna have a flag football tournament, right? And we hope to build this up more and more. But obviously, Evan, he's gonna be on my team. Me and him are gonna be taking turns at quarterback for the most part, kind of interchanging a little bit.
Okay.
So you'll see him on the stream again. That's the long story short.
100%.
And then we might have a couple dropouts for the fantasy this year. So he would take one of the spots too. Because he wants to hop on the fantasy as well.
I do, yeah. Any chance you guys can get me in there, that'd be awesome.
Which is super competitive. But again, thank you so much, Evan.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me.
All right. But see you, Evan. Like I said, again, thanks for having us. Hey guys, everybody, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week, all right?
Yes, sir.